Americans send George Soros epic message that could put an end to this terror sponsor. Hungarian billionaire George Soros has spent his life amassing power over governments seeking to turn good countries into socialist garbage dumps. In the U.S., Soros has used his money to buy politicians and sponsor domestic terrorism. However, Americans have had enough and just sent Soros a powerful message that could put an end to this terror sponsor for good. According to the Washington Times, a White House petition calling for Soros to be declared a terrorist has now received enough signatures to garner a reply from the Trump administration. The petition was posted by the We the People section of the WhiteHouse.gov website on August 20th. Petitions posted require 100,000 signatures within 30 days to qualify for a response from the president. The George Soros petition has now crossed that threshold with over 110,000 signatures as of today. Interestingly, the petitions section of the White House website was created under the direction of Barack Obama, who wanted to give the appearance of transparency. This feature has been most famously used by Democrats for a petition that calls on President Trump to release his tax returns. Now, American patriots who want our nation to be free from the influence of amoral foreign billionaires are turning Obama's creation against his own movement. The Soros petition does not mince words in addressing the danger that this shady man poses, warning him to stay out of our politics. Whereas George Soros has willfully and on an ongoing basis attempted to destabilize and otherwise commit acts of sedition against the United States and its citizens, has created and funded dozens and probably hundreds of discrete organizations whose sole purpose is to apply Alinsky model terrorist tactics to facilitate the collapse of the systems and constitutional government of the United States, and has developed unhealthy and undue influence over the entire Democrat Party and a large portion of the U.S. federal government. The DOJ should immediately declare George Soros and all of his organization and staff members to be domestic terrorists and have all of his personal and organizational wealth and assets seized under civil asset forfeiture law. The petition aims to hit Soros where it would most hurt, in his wallet. Seizing his wealth and assets would put a major hurdle in front of an individual who continually uses his money and influence to subvert democratically elected governments around the world. It's ironic that the left have been crying nonstop about Russian influence, interference, and meddling in the 2016 election, when Soros has been openly meddling in American politics and elections for decades, and the Democrats have praised him for doing so. As Discover the Network's notes, Soros's pet projects include America Votes, a national get-out-the-vote coalition that supports Democratic candidates, and American Family Voices, whose purpose is to dig up dirt on Republicans. Yet Soros hedges his bets buying politicians on both sides of the aisle. As the Daily Caller reports, George Soros has given well over $100,000 to Republican John McCain's Institute for International Leadership, which has the hazy purpose of advancing human rights, dignity, democracy, and freedom. Soros's biggest crime is directly financing domestic terror groups. The Hungarian billionaire funds paid protesters at organizations like Black Lives Matter and the anti-fascist Refuse Fascism groups that regularly commit acts of violence against conservatives. President Donald Trump is a thorn in George Soros' side because he is the one person in Washington, D.C. who cannot be bought, and he occupies the highest office in the country. If Trump takes action on this petition, he can deal a crushing blow to Soros and save America from one of its biggest enemies. You know, the only thing that I don't understand is why are these politicians actually not going after him themselves? Why does a petition have to be signed? Do you see what I'm saying? Why? They know what's going on. They know they track everybody. So they can't track this guy. I mean, you know, it's such a shame that the people have to start, getting up there and fighting. The politicians that we put in office should be doing their jobs and going after this criminal, and the people shouldn't have to tell them to seize his assets and whatnot, or freeze them, whatever you may call it. It's just a shame. That's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.